Hi, everybody. Welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Rhoda. Today, guess what we're talking about? We are talking about the new Huda Beauty Icy Nudes, this 18 pan beauty right here. This is Huda's holiday 2024 launch. She usually launches one of her big palettes around this time every year, and this here palette is said to be her last big palette. Now, what does that mean exactly? Not sure. Is she going to go down to a 15 pan palette, or is she just going to stick with her 9 pan palettes? If she sticks with her 9 pan palettes, I really hope that she uses the Italian formula that she uses for her big palettes, because I have not really been a fan of the 9 pans. I'm not crazy about the formula in those, but all speculation, of course. She says it's the last one, but is it really? Is it? I don't know. That remains to be seen. Doesn't matter. We have this one right now, so let's just focus on this one right now. Let's open her up and see what we have inside. How gorgeous is this color story? Oh, it's gorgeous. Bring you a little bit closer. I have some reflection from the light outside my window because I am filming in natural light. It is kind of a cloudy day, but I am getting a little bit of reflection. So I'm hoping that you can see these shades, but I will be swatching them on my hand for sure. I love, love, love this color story. This was released on Sephora Canada, I think by mistake. I managed to order it, but now when I check back on the Sephora Canada website or app, it says coming soon. So whether it was a mistake or it wasn't a mistake, regardless, for once in Canada, we had something released ahead of time. So that's how I have this palette in my hot little hands right now. This palette retails for $69 US and $94 Canadian. Yeah, you heard me right. Here are some arm swatches of the entire palette. Thank you so much to my swatch model, whose arm is making her very second appearance on this channel. As you can see, we've got nudes, browns, grays, and pink mattes. And we also have some sparkly and icy pinks, whites, platinums, and silvers. I'm going to do some swatches on my hand right now. I'm going to do all the mattes together, and then we'll get into the sparkly metallic shades. There are 11 mattes in this palette. Let's start with High Life. Right here, High Life is a soft purple matte. This is Unapologetic, a burgundy matte. Faux Fur, a chocolate brown matte. This is She's Rich, a deep brown matte. I'm going to go over this one again because I didn't swatch that great. So those are the first 4 mattes. This is Poised, a gray pink matte. This one is Lavish. Lavish is a dusty pink matte. Here is Oneself. This is a light gray matte. And we have IDGIF, which is a pink matte. Doesn't look very pink on my hand right here, but in the pan it definitely is pink. Final 3 mattes. This is First Class. First Class is a peachy matte. Next we have Cold Plunge. This is a neutral nude matte. And finally we have Avalanche, which is a white matte. I tried to group the mattes in kind of color story and gradient. I hope that helps. Let's move on to the shimmery metallic shades. This one right here is called Iced Out. It's a white duochrome metallic, but there are blue and purple shifts in there. Absolutely stunning, and it swatched so creamy. Really creamy. Next up, we have Platinum. Platinum is a silver metallic. Then we have Gold Standards. I love that we have the icy silvers and blues and whites, and we have some warmer options too. I love that. Gold Standards is a bronze metallic. And then we have Aurora. Aurora is a deep pink metallic. Love it. Beautiful. They're so sparkly. And these swatched much better than the mattes, I gotta say. Much creamier, much easier. Okay, we have our final 3. So here we have VVS. This one is a sparkly pink metallic triochrome. In the pan, it's very squishy. It looked kind of raised and piled on, like not flat in the pan when you first opened up the palette, but when I pressed on it, it kind of squished all the way down. So it's quite putty-like. and a little bit chunky. There's some chunks on there, so be careful with that one. I certainly will be when applying to my lids. Next, we have this very interesting shade called Bling. It's not interesting in the shade. It's a silver copper-like shade because it felt very, very gritty in the pan. It doesn't swatch very easily. Well, it swatches, but it's kind of piecey. It doesn't have much base to it. So this one definitely is a topper, a sparkly topper for sure. That's called Bling. And it's a biodegradable plant-based shimmer or glitter. Never heard of that before. Not exactly sure what that means or what the point of that is, but we'll see. Finally, we have Diamond Dew. This one felt and looked exactly like VVS in terms of the texture in the pan. It came kind of raised and it's kind of squishy and putty-like as well. So this is a sparkly silver metallic triochrome. So I'm trying to see what's in there. It's kind of like, it's got some gold in there, some silver, pretty wild and sparkly and beautiful. They're gorgeous. These last three, I'm gonna have to see how they do with fallout, how they apply to the eye, and how they feel on the eye as well. So these ones are definitely very, very special in this palette. But here we are. All right, let's do a couple of looks. So, oh, it's starting to get a little bit sunny. I may have to adjust my settings so that it's not too bright. But I think I'm going to start with this shade right here called High Life. Refer 16. Oh, let me zoom you in. There, that's better. So you guys can see what the heck I'm doing. All right. Okay, so the mattes did not swatch very well on my hand. But that doesn't usually deter me or make me think anything of a palette because it only matters what it performs like on the eyes, and I'm having zero issues right now. So they are suede-like, creamy. It has been raining eyeshadow palettes lately, has it not? Who said eyeshadow was dead? It's very much alive, very much alive. Maybe not as popular, but believe you me, there are a lot of people out there who love eyeshadow. And I am one of those people. So this is High Life and it's a soft like purple, a soft purple matte with a little bit of brown in it. So it just works. For me, this works. It's not too purple, it's not too mauvey. It does have a hint of that, but looking good. Looking good. I'm just putting this all over my crease, just above right here, so it can peek through. And that'll be our starting point because I'm really not sure. Really not sure where I want to go because there's so many shades in here that I want to use. Let's see what happens. All right. I really want to try this shade. It looks so interesting to me. This one right here, it's called Unapologetic. And I'm taking a Refer Shodo 00. These are their new calligraphy inspired brushes. They're incredible. They're so, so good. All right, so let's see what Unapologetic looks like on the eye. I just want to deepen this outer corner just a little bit. Gorge. Unapologetic is like a burgundy matte, but again, not too burgundy, so that you end up with like a red, too red of a base. Stunning. Stunning, stunning. Okay? This brush is so good. It's so, so good. I think I want to deepen this a little bit more. I'm going to go into this shade right here called Faux Fur with a Refer number 14. It's a smaller brush so I can get a little bit more precision. You know, when I'm using a new palette and I try a new shade, I'm always so scared to ruin what I've already laid down. Does that make sense? But no. This is gorgeous. I love this. These mattes are laying down beautifully, beautifully. I'm barely touching my eyelid. Now I don't know if I want to go into this pinkier metallic shade called Aurora, or if I want to go into the squishy one. You know, the squishy metallics that I swatched at the very end there, this VVS one, because it's a triochrome. It's got a little bit of pink in it, a little bit of gold in it, a little bit of something, something in there. I think I'm going to go into Aurora. Aurora's calling to me. Who's that? It's Aurora. All right, I'm going to place Aurora on my lid. This is a rougher 21. Okay, with a brush, it's very pretty. It's very pretty. Do I dare use my... Oh no, you can get this nice and shiny if you build it up. I don't think you need to use your finger. I'll use my finger with some of the other chunkier ones, I think. Oh, but this lays down oh, beautifully. Beautifully with a brush. Beautifully. Nice flat brush like this. And if you build it up, it doesn't get chunky. This is not emphasizing lines on my wrinkly lids. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, this is gorgeous. I know this doesn't look like an icy look, but I did want to see how deep, no, not how deep, because you can get very deep with this shade. You can see with all the mattes how deep you can go. More on like the warmer side of things, although this is kind of still on the cooler side. It's absolutely beautiful. And I think now I want to add a little bit of gold to this, and we'll have a little bit of warm with a little bit of neutrally cooler leaning on this side of the eye. Let's see how that works. Rever 03, and I'm going to go into gold standard. I'm holding my breath because I don't want to ruin this. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it because it works great. OMG. This gold. Oh, just a smidge of fallout right there. I didn't tap properly. Okay, so just make sure you tap with these metallics, at least with this one. Well, you should always because you never know. But the gold with a little bit of pink in it, just a smidge. Okay, and then it goes into this Aurora shade, and then we go out into all of these gorgeous mauvey brown mattes on the outside and the outer part of the eye. I love that. I love that combination. How beautiful. BK Beauty 205 little liner brush, and I'm going to go into She Rich. This is the deepest of the mattes, of like a chocolate brown. Very, very dark, which I do appreciate, always having a liner option in a palette. I'm just going to line my upper lash line just to define it a little bit more. So far, I've gotten 0 fallout, just a smidge on that sparkly shade. As far as I can see, oh no, I'm getting a little bit of fallout from this, just like a sprinkle, nothing crazy. I want to make sure that I have a nice defined lash line. I do want to test this shade out called Poised, Refer 23, and I'm going to add that to the lower lash line carefully because I've mentioned so many times before how hard of a time I have with my lower lash line. That all works beautifully together. So this has a much more mauvey undertone to it. And it's not even an undertone, it's a mauvey shade. Okay. And it's kind of contrasting with the rest of our look, but it all works together. All right, I'm going to do my mascara, finish this eye up, and then we'll get on to doing a completely different look on this eye. Okay, mascara's all done, but I think I want to add Cold Plunge, this nudie matte shade, to the inner corner because I think we need a little bit of brightening up there. There, that's so good. I didn't want to put a white shade here because we have the gold and the sort of pink gradient going on over here. So I think that this plunge, what's it, Icy? Nude plunge shade will work beautifully. And it does. I really want to go icy with this look right here. So I am examining. I'm examining. You have no idea how fun this is. I'm going to go into oneself with a Refer 16 brush. It's fun, but also a little bit nerve-wracking for me, only because I'm doing this for you guys. And because I haven't used the palette yet, I want the looks to come out nice. You know, I want them to look nice and be something that you can maybe recreate or make up your mind whether or not you want this palette. So as fun as this is, I'm like, please, please work out. Please work out. You're a $94 palette, by the way, Canadian, and I really, really want to love it. So far, I am. Spoiler alert. So this one's self shade is a very like a grayish, a um, gray. It's gray. It's gray. It's a light gray, but on me, in my skin tone, it's got a peak of blue coming through. A peak of blue, and that's never a bad thing in this house. Believe you me. Refer number one, and I'm going to go into this middle shade called Poised. And I'm going to start to deepen out that outer corner. Again, these mattes didn't swatch the best, not the best, but on the eye, stupendous. That seems to be my word lately. I've been saying it a lot. Sometimes, like, I'll say a word and then I'll keep repeating it. Then I'll forget. Then I'll find another word. It's like I'm serial dating words. Now the sun's coming back out. There we go. I think that's better. And I hope it's not too dark. I love filming in natural light. It's the best. And I think it's the most accurate representation of what shades look like and what makeup looks like. I don't use any filters. I wouldn't even know how to add a filter to my videos. I don't know, people. I don't know how you do that. I don't want to know. I don't care to. This is my face, imperfections and all. And if it's not a real representation of what something looks like, skin, pores, all of it, then what is the actual point? That is how I see things. But what I wanted to say before I went off on the tangent is sometimes the clouds come through, it's not as bright, then the sun comes in, and then it's like, whoa. So I'm figuring out how to adjust my camera. I'll have to stop and do that, but hopefully it all works. Hopefully it works. I'm going to take my pinky and I'm going to go into this biodegradable shade called Bling. I don't understand, but we'll see what happens. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. It's a topper. Yeah, that's the topper. No, 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 not a topper. Not just yet. We're not ready to top. We're not ready to top. All right, this is where I want to go. I want to go into Platinum. Platinum right here with my pinky. And let's see. Oh, holy moly cannoli. Okay. Oh my goodness. Now this one. You want to be iced out? You want to be iced out? Here you go. Here you go. That's so pretty. I love that. I'm not getting any fallout from this. I am dying to go into Diamond Dew, one of the squishy shades. That's what I'm going to call them, the squishy shades. Literally, they were like a pillow, and then when I put my finger in them to swatch them, they just deflated. Cute. It was cute. I'm just saying. All right, I think I have a lot. I think I have way too much for where I'm trying. Or do I want to put this in the center? Yeah, I think instead of the inner corner, I was going to go for the inner corner with this, but it looks like it might overshadow the platinum shade in the center. So I'm going to go over platinum just a smidge. And this one I'm getting, see, it's that putty, it's that loose kind, not, it's not loose, it's just very, a little bit messy, but I hope you guys can see. Is the sun coming out again? Now, this is whammo, whammo. It's wow. That is wowza. I want to dip into every one of these shades. This is going to have to be another video where I do multiple looks with this. Okay, with Diamond Dew, I have one stuck right here, a glitter stuck right there. And I do have some fallout, but it's like little specks. It's not like a major issue. I can dust those away, but I'll wait till I am done this look to do that. Nothing concerning. Refer 28, and I want to go into this shade called Iced Out. It's a duochrome with some pink and blue shifts in there. Tap that off, okay. In this inner part of my eye, it is really picking up really picking up the purple and the blue in there. It looks really, really nice. There is this like opal-y duochrome situation happening. I'm going to add something to the inner corner to ice this out a little bit more. Refer 26, and I'm going to go into Avalanche, and I'm going to pop this in the inner corner and bring it up a little bit. This is a matte white, and I think it's perfect. 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 Sometimes whites can be a little bit chalky, and it was a little bit in the swatch, but not on the eye. I'm loving that. Let's use Bling. Bling is that biodegradable topper shade, and see what that does. It's very gritty. Feels very, very gritty and rough. It's not hurting my eyeball. I'm just saying, like, I can feel it. It's not smooth or creamy, but it does add, it adds an extra sparkle, as if we needed more. There's never enough sparkle, is there? Was it necessary? No, it wasn't. It already looked stupendous and beautiful. Do I mind that it's on there? No. It still looks great. I think I want to go back into Poised. I lost a little bit of the depth out here, playing around with all those icy shimmers and metallics and biodegradable sparkles and squishy sparkles and all of those beautiful formulas and finishes. I do love that we have a variety of sparkles to play with in this palette. I think it's great, but I do want to deepen that outer corner just a little bit. And now I think I definitely want to line this eye because it's looking a little bit floaty. It needs to be anchored a little bit with a little bit of a liner. MAC angled brush, and I'm going to go into Faux Fur, and we'll start lining this eye. This is a great liner shade, and you can use it whether you go icy cold or a little bit warmer like I did on this eye. And I think that is what I'm loving about this palette. It's well balanced, very well thought out, because you can use all of these shades, warmer leaning, cooler leaning, ice cold leaning, and you can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. That works so well. Even though this is a deep, dark, like chocolate brown, totally works. Totally works. Because it's picking up on the mauviness of these gray shades. I think I want to mix Faux Fur and Poised, and I'll take a little bit of each and then line the bottom lash line on this end. This is a Refer 28. Connect those. I'm just going to try and dust away this. They're pretty chunky. They're a little bit stubborn, but they're going away. I am going to mascara this eye, and I will be right back. I kind of like doing two looks side by side because you really, really get a good idea of how diverse you can get with a palette. Along with this Icy Nude release, she released 3 new faux filler lip glosses with shimmer in them. I only picked up one. I picked up She Flirty. This is what I have on my lips today. I have nothing else on, no liner, no anything, because I wanted you to see what it looks like without anything affecting it. I think this would look great with a nice like brownie liner, to be honest. It's a nice gloss. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it. It feels comfortable on the lips. It's not sticky at all. It feels really, really nice. It's a nice gloss. It's a nice gloss. Yeah, I don't think it's anything that is overly shiny or really like rocks my world in any way. Like, it's a nice gloss though. If I didn't have it, would I be sad? No. I want to do some quick comparisons. On top is Icy Nudes. On the bottom is Rose Quartz. Although there might be 1 or 2 shades that look like they're the same, after swatching, they really do have different undertones. It's much more pink and purple. I really don't see a comparison here. Next up is Icy Nudes on top and the Empowered palette. On the bottom, as you can very well see, Empowered is very peachy, very, very warm leaning, much darker color story versus the Icy Nudes. So again, I don't see any comparison there. But it's really good to see these next to each other so you can get a really good idea of, what you're getting with Icy Nudes, if you already have any of these palettes that I'm comparing to. And here we have last year's Pretty Grunge. at the bottom and Icy Nude on top. This one is the one that I would say is closest with those silver platinum shades and those mauvey mattes. Pretty Grunge still is a little bit darker, is a little bit on the peachier side, on the warmer side of the palette. And we also have in Pretty Grunge, we have that glossy black. Let me swatch a couple that I think might be similar, and then you can decide whether or not you need Icy Nude if you have Pretty Grunge. This is Faux Fur in Icy Nudes, and this is Nirvana in Pretty Grunge. So Nirvana is a little bit darker. This is Fearless in the Pretty Grunge, and this is Unapologetic. So they are different. The tones are different. The other two that might be close are High Life in Icy Nudes, and this one is Beauty Chaos in Pretty Grunge. Here are VBS in the Icy Nudes, and in Pretty Grunge, this is Rebel and Maverick. So those are actually quite close. There is some difference in the shift to them, but overall on the eye, I think they have the same effect. So some similarities in those two palettes. However, the Pretty Grunge is much more darker leaning and peachier leaning. And the Icy Nudes is aptly named Icy because you can get a lot of those icy, lighter, cooler, bluer type of looks. Okay, what do I think of this here palette? Well, I have to tell you, I adore the two looks that I was able to achieve using this palette. I love that I was able to get something a little bit warmer, a little bit less icy on this eye versus this eye. So I definitely think that this is a very versatile palette. I love having this as an addition to my Huda collection, and also this is the last one. So for me, I'm very, very glad that I have it. I love the color story. I think it's just so perfectly balanced and perfectly put together. I think I used pretty much everything in here, save maybe one or two shades. So it is quite versatile. I love this color story. I am so happy to have it in my collection. If you are thinking about picking this up, it's wonderful that she's released it right before the Sephora sale is about to start. If you can get some sort of percentage off at the Sephora sale, if this is something that you wanted to pick up, I would do so. I don't think you'd be disappointed at all. I love it. It performed beautifully. I have no regrets whatsoever, even though it's $94. Could I have waited for the Sephora sale? Sure, I could have, but then I couldn't have reviewed it for you. That's why I picked it up right away. As soon as it came up on the Sephora Canada website, I was like, what? I thought, what is happening? Because I know this is coming out October 25th. Why is it on here? So immediately add to cart. Here it is. I can't believe it. And so I'm happy to bring this review to you ahead of time. For once, that is it. That is all for this review of the new Huda Beauty Icy Nudes palette. I really do hope you found that helpful. As always, thank you so very, very much for watching. Please do consider subscribing before you leave. If you have not already, hit the like button if you like the video and the bell button so that you're notified every time I do post a video. Are you guys planning on picking this up? I'm so snoopy and curious. I just really, really want to know what you guys think about this palette, what you think about these looks. If you're thinking about picking this up, especially considering that it might be her very last big palette. I don't know. Does that sway you in any way, shape, or form? Did it sway me? No, it didn't sway me. I would have picked it up anyway. Let's just put it that way. Everything I have on my face today will be linked in the description box down below if you are curious on what I'm wearing. Oh, I forgot to mention the lip gloss. It's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not like mind-blowing. It's a lip gloss. It's nice. It's nice. Okay, you don't need it. You really don't. I will see you in the next one, which will very much likely be my Sephora sale recommendations. And I also want to take you through what's in my cart because I'm not sure what I'm going to be picking up, but I do have some great recommendations for you. So be sure to be subscribed. And that video will be up definitely way before, not way before, but right before the sale starts for Rouge on November 1st. So look out for that one. And until then, please take care and thank you again so much for watching.